Hey everybody, Edo here, and for today's League video, I thought I would talk about Kickstarters and COVID-19. It has been a big topic on various groups about whether you should cancel a Kickstarter in motion, you should delay your Kickstarter, what should you do? And certainly, it's crazy times. I live in the Bay Area, so I'm currently sheltered in place. And so it's real. It's real. The answer to the question, I think, is pretty much yes. You should cancel your Kickstarter or delay your Kickstarter or not do it. Now, ultimately, there are a number of different circumstances. I've funded, and the Kickstarter's only got 2 more days left. Finish it. For XYZ reason, it isn't possible for me to change it. Or we've built up everyone's going to have their own rationale. But let me, explain the basic things that we've seen online and around us and why I suggest not doing it now. But then also talk about some recommendations on how you can adjust your schedule. So try to be actually positive here. So, on one hand, everyone's on the internet. Many folks are at home just on the internet. So I think that would potentially be an argument to continue to plan and run your Kickstarter. Also, arguably, if a bunch of people are getting out of the pool and not running their Kickstarter, it'll be light, so there'll be less traffic. You'll be fighting with other games. As big groups don't use Kickstarter in the next month or so, there's an opportunity to be the only one on Kickstarter. So I guess both of those are arguments. The arguments against, I would say, is right. Beyond people being sick or potentially sick or worried about sick or afraid of being sick, there are legitimate financial impacts happening right now. Financial impacts in terms of people who are hourly or are depending on their work and laid off. There's the stock market, diving. There's a whole bunch of reasons that people might say, you know what? I'm not going to put $100 down towards something I'm not going to get for 9 months or a year. I'll just wait. And we're seeing that with cancellations from campaigns that are open. We're seeing that with delayed fundings. We're seeing that with just a huge reduction. Even Kickstarter, I believe their offices are probably on work from home as well, right? So there's just this gigantic lack of clarity and discomfort around the financial stability, and probably not a time people are going to be interested in spending money on a future game, right? If they're super engaged with it, if they really want to do it, there are going to be people who don't have any problem continuing to use Kickstarter, but I think there's enough of a disruption going on right now that I would be concerned about it. I think in addition to that part, the backer part, there's the creative part, right? I don't know if it's your first Kickstarter, your second, your fifth, but for all sorts of reasons, things are different. Conventions are being canceled. Origins is the next up on potentially on May 1st being canceled. You have just people not going to game stores as much. You have less game nights. So you have fewer opportunities to show and get people talking about and communicating about your game. It's going to be pretty locked to sort of social media and that kind of thing. So you've got less opportunities to play. You don't know how manufacturing is going to be impacted. You don't know how postal service is going to be impacted. You don't know how prices are going to be impacted. Maybe they'll be way lower. Fantastic. Or maybe they'll have to jack up for some reason, right? So there's a lot of uncertainty in the immediate future and in the potential beginning future of your Kickstarter fulfillment, like the stages after funding, that even in that regards, I'd be a little concerned about how accurate my numbers are or your numbers are or how good you are planned. From a Pencil First Games perspective, there's some really interesting things going on. 100 Tori shipping to retail on 3/31. It's already in solicitation. It's already in the warehouse. I'm pretty sure it's going to get impacted. I'm very concerned that it's going to sort of be a dud because I just think if you were a game store right now, you are probably still buying games. But if you're like, should I buy 6 or should I buy 1 or 2? I'm pretty sure they're going to buy 1. Not because the game's not good enough, but because it's crazy time right now. So I think there are business-wide impacts. And it's just something to keep in mind. And so for me, the Whatnot Cabinet is my next Kickstarter. I had that earmarked for May sort of on the cusp, but I'm going to play it by ear. Also, you have to consider bandwidth of reviewers to do review content and a variety of other things. So all in all, unless you're like really like, we have an amazing we have a really known group of people that really want this game, they're already bought in, they're financially stable, then maybe take advantage of the fact that there aren't other folks on Kickstarter at the same time. The other thing worth note is the moment, if we have all these Kickstarters that get delayed, get pushed, etc., the moment people are like, May's in the clear, or whatever month it is, there's going to be a onslaught of campaigns launching concurrently. So you may want to delay beyond just where the delay is, so you're not just caught up in the everyone getting back in the pool dynamic. So a couple last things. The other meat and potatoes, if you've already sort of figured out it's not a good time, what can you do? Well, reach out to your reviewers, people who are creating content for you. Everyone knows this is crazy. This is crazy. So in terms of don't post the review until I'm ready, it's not going to be a problem. You can talk to partners. I'm sure many ad partners will let you postpone or offset when you were going to launch your campaign or what newsletter you're a part of. I mean, maybe they won't, but a lot of these groups aren't really contracts. You probably made some note or talked over Facebook or email about getting that banner. There was never going to be a contract anyway, so it's really just a conversation to have, right? So I think those places you should have flexibility or fungibility to move it around. If you can't, but you know you can't launch the Kickstarter, point them at a website, point them at a BGG page, point them at a newsletter. Capture their information, but recognize that you're pushing it out. And then otherwise, just use the time to refine you should have extra time, so improve your Kickstarter page, level up your social media presence, use the opportunity to do video. Video right now is big. You see lots of folks doing live video who hadn't previously been doing it. Like on Kickstarter, I'm seeing, not Kickstarter, on YouTube and Facebook, I'm just seeing a lot more live video because everyone's sitting at home. So I think there's an opportunity to focus on your engagement. You can do, again, videos, playthroughs, examples, get the word out. Use the fact that people are very idle right now to your advantage. I just don't know that you want to try to get their money in the immediate term. If you're going to keep your date, I think just recognize the situation and do your best. Set some lower expectations. If you haven't set your funding goal, set it a little lower. Be considerate of that. But at the same time, I think you are faced with a scenario where people are just going to be a little bit more reserved and reluctant. So don't, again, as a point of emphasis, just be willing to say, hey, I wanted to do this, but the date shifted. Can you help me out, partner A, partner B? I think people are pretty understanding of this as being crazy town, right? So just ask for a delay, ask for postponement, that kind of thing. And again, you'd like to say May makes sense. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. April, our governor was saying, our kids are out of school until April, but suddenly it's like, I don't know. School may never be back. It might be through the summer. Who knows? No one knows, right? So it's crazy. But if you are into homeschooling or homeschooling board games, now might be the time to get those PDFs or printed plays out. Printed plays is another great way to get some attention right now. Goodwill printed plays. Think outside of the box, do interesting things, but I do think probably you don't want to launch a Kickstarter right now. So anyway, hope this was insightful, helpful, or anything. Otherwise, talk to you later. Bye. Hey everybody, Edo here, and thanks for watching Gaming with Edo. Reviews over here on this playlist, League and Insider videos over here on this one. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. But most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.